In a world saturated with advertisements, promotions, and choices, understanding why we buy the things we do can be a fascinating journey into human behavior. Our purchasing decisions are influenced by a wide range of psychological, emotional, social, and even subconscious factors. Whether we are splurging on a new gadget, grabbing the latest fashion trends, or simply stocking up on essentials, there's more to our spending habits than meets the eye. Let's dive into the psychology behind spending and explore why we buy the things we do. 1. The emotional drivers of spending. At its core, spending is often more about emotion than logic. Many of our purchasing decisions are made based on how we feel at the moment or what we believe the product will help us achieve emotionally. Instant gratification. One major reason we purchase is for immediate satisfaction. This is particularly evident in impulse buys like grabbing a snack at the checkout line or splurging on a piece of clothing we didn't plan to buy. This quick reward provides a sense of happiness or relief, which our brain interprets as a positive experience. Emotional comfort. Buying can also serve as a way to soothe negative emotions. Whether it's a bad day at work or feeling stressed, shopping has become a coping mechanism for many people. The act of purchasing something new can offer a temporary sense of control or alleviate feelings of anxiety, sadness, or boredom. It's no surprise that retail therapy has become a widely recognized term. Social influence. Social factors such as peer pressure and societal expectations play a significant role in why we buy. Humans are social beings, and we often make purchasing decisions based on the influence of others. The desire to fit in or keep up with trends pushes many to buy products that align with what others are doing, even if those products don't serve any specific need. 2. The role of advertising and marketers know how to trigger emotional responses and influence consumer behavior. Advertisements, both online and offline, are designed to appeal to our deepest desires and fears. That's the power of persuasion. A well-crafted ad doesn't just inform, it persuades. Advertising often connects products with emotions such as happiness, success, or love. For instance, an advertisement for a luxury car might not focus on the car's features, but rather on the lifestyle that owning it brings: success, power, and sophistication. Scarcity and urgency. Phrases like limited time offer or while supplies last are designed to create a sense of urgency. The psychology behind this tactic is simple. We fear missing out. Known as FOMO, fear of missing out, this strategy triggers our primal instincts to secure resources and act quickly, even if we don't truly need the product. Social proof. Marketers also employ the concept of social proof, which relies on the idea that people are more likely to make a purchase if they believe others have made that same choice. Reviews, testimonials, and influencer endorsements play into this, subtly guiding us toward making decisions that align with the crowd. 3. The influence of self-identity and status. Our purchases often reflect our self-concept and our desire to project a certain image to the world. The things we buy are not only functional but also symbolic, communicating messages about who we are and who we aspire to be. Symbolism and self-expression. The clothes we wear, the cars we drive, and even the gadgets we own are all extensions of our identity. Some people may buy a high-end brand, not necessarily for its quality, but for the status it confers. A designer handbag may signal wealth, sophistication, or social standing, whereas other products might express personal interests, values, or creativity. The desire for prestige. Status-driven purchases are also a huge part of consumer behavior. From luxury watches to exclusive vacations, we often buy things to elevate our social position. Our society tends to reward individuals who display wealth or success, prompting us to acquire products that will project these traits to others. Aspirational purchases. Sometimes we purchase items because they represent an ideal version of ourselves. For example, a gym membership or a high-performance bicycle may symbolize our aspiration to become fitter or more health-conscious. These items serve as visual reminders of the goals we strive toward, even if they're not immediately used. 4. The impact of habit and routine. Many of our spending habits are formed over time and become ingrained in our daily routines. This type of spending is often subconscious and may occur without much thought or consideration. Routine purchases. Some things we buy out of necessity, like groceries or household goods, but even these purchases can be influenced by habitual behaviors. For example, we may regularly purchase the same brand of cereal because it's what we've always bought, not necessarily because it's the best choice. The comfort of familiarity. People often prefer the familiar over the unknown. This bias toward the known means that we are more likely to repurchase products we've bought before, even if other options are available. Over time, this habit creates brand loyalty, where we gravitate toward the same companies, regardless of whether there's a better or cheaper alternative. 5. The influence of cognitive biases. Our brains are wired to take shortcuts to make decisions quickly, which often leads to cognitive biases. These biases can make us more prone to certain spending habits without even realizing it. Anchoring effect. This bias occurs when we rely too heavily on the first piece of information we see. For instance, seeing a luxury item marked down from $500 to $250 creates the illusion of a bargain, even if the actual value of the product isn't worth that much. The original price anchors our perception of the item's value. Loss aversion. People tend to fear losses more than they value gains, which is why sales tactics such as buy one, get one free, or limited time discounts are so effective. The idea of missing out on a deal triggers a stronger emotional response than the potential gain from the item itself. Overconfidence and optimism. Bias. Many people overestimate their ability to afford certain items, believing that they will either be able to pay for them later or that they'll use the item more often than they realistically will. This bias can lead to overspending or impulse purchases that aren't entirely rational. 6. The social and cultural context. Our cultural environment also plays a significant role in shaping our purchasing behavior. In different parts of the world, spending patterns vary greatly due to cultural norms, values, and traditions. Cultural significance of consumption. In many societies, spending is tied to celebrations, rituals, and social occasions. Holidays like Christmas, Thanksgiving, or Diwali encourage gift-giving and festive purchases. Similarly, cultural norms surrounding weddings, birthdays, and other milestones dictate the types and amounts of spending expected from individuals. Peer influence and trends. The rise of social media influencers and celebrities has further fueled the desire to emulate others. From fashion choices to tech gadgets, consumers are constantly exposed to the lifestyles of the rich and famous. As a result, we are often motivated to buy products not just for their utility, but to signal alignment with specific trends and social groups. Conclusion: the psychology of spending is complex and multifaceted. Our purchasing decisions are driven by a combination of emotional, psychological, social, and environmental factors. Whether we're indulging in a luxury purchase to elevate our status, seeking comfort through retail therapy, or acting on the influence of advertising, the reasons behind our buying habits are often more intricate than we may realize. By understanding the psychological forces at play, we can become more conscious consumers and perhaps make more mindful choices when it comes to spending our hard-earned money.